Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Uzma Jafri. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Thursday, the 14th of January. India continues to report sustained decline in daily new COVID-19 cases. Pakistan failed to stem violence against women and minorities in 2020, reveals report. And US envoy says Washington not advocating interim government in Afghanistan. And now for all the details. India on Thursday continued its trend of recording daily new COVID-19 cases less than 20,000 since the last 7 days, the Health Ministry data showed. This comes as India is about to launch its nationwide vaccination drive against COVID-19, which officials claim will be the largest vaccination drive in the world.
India on Thursday recorded only 16,946 new cases of COVID-19, maintaining its trend of recording daily new virus cases less than 20,000 since the last 7 days, according to the Health Ministry data. This comes as less than 2 days are left for the launch of India's nationwide vaccination drive against the COVID-19, which government claims will be the largest vaccination drive in the world. Doses of the two vaccines approved for emergency use, Covaxin and Covishield in India, have been delivered across the country ahead of the vaccination program. National capital New Delhi was among the first few states to get the vaccine doses.
सभी तैयारियां पूरी कर ली गई हैं और सभी टीम्स लोगों को वैक्सीन लगाने के लिए तैयार हैं। पहले दिन 16 जनवरी को 81 जगहों पर वैक्सीन लगाई जाएंगी। एक जगह पे लगभग एक दिन में 100 लोगों को वैक्सीन लगाई जाएगी।
Meanwhile, the total number of people infected with the mutant UK strain of COVID-19 in India reached 109 on Thursday. To contain the spread of the virus, authorities had earlier put temporary ban on flights from UK, but they have been resumed. Passengers have been asked to undergo an RT-PCR test both in the UK before boarding their flight and after arriving in India.
Parts of North India reeled under a severe cold wave and witnessed dense fog on Thursday as the minimum temperature in the region dropped to 2 degrees Celsius. According to the Weather Department, cold and dry northerly and northwesterly winds from the western Himalayas have been barreling through the plains, bringing the minimum temperature in North India down.
Residents of Indian capital New Delhi woke up to a chilly and foggy morning on Thursday after mercury plummeted to 2 degrees Celsius at night. The India Meteorological Department or IMD reported visibility at 100 meters in some areas of Delhi due to dense fog, and the minimum temperature at night was recorded at 2 degrees, which is 5 notches below normal at this time of the year. People were seen warming themselves around bonfire, wrapped in warm winter clothing.
हाँ, आज ठंड बहुत ज़्यादा है और ये पूरा अक्षरधाम यहाँ नहीं दिखाई दे रहा, पूरा हाईवे कोहरा से भरा हुआ है। और क्या कहते हैं, हम आज साइकिलिंग करने आए, हमारे हाथ पूरे बहुत ठंड हो गए हैं और क्या कहते हैं, इतनी ठंड लग रही है कुछ कहो मत। पिछले साल के मुताबिक इस बार बहुत ठंड पड़ी है।
Similar conditions were seen almost all through the North Indian plains, where visibility was reduced, affecting air, road and rail traffic.
जी कोहरा बहुत है, ठंड सुननी बहुत है, उंगलियां काम नहीं कर पा रही हैं और आगे लाइट जलाने के बाद भी ज़्यादा देख नहीं पा रहे हैं और सफ़ेद पट्टी का सहारा पकड़ के हम लोग ऑटो चला रहे हैं।
According to weather scientists at IMD, the northerly and northwesterly winds that are dry and cold are bringing temperatures down in northern India this week. The mercury is expected to rise in the coming days.
A report by Human Rights Watch has revealed that Prime Minister Imran Khan-led Pakistan government intensified its crackdown on the media, political opponents and civil society in 2020, while failing to stem violence against women and minorities.
Human Rights Watch, in its World Report 2021, has said that Prime Minister Imran Khan-led Pakistan government intensified its crackdown on the media, political opponents and civil society in 2020 while failing to stem violence against women and minorities. Brad Adams, Asia Director at Human Rights Watch, said Pakistan's continuing assault on political opponents and free expression put the country on an increasingly dangerous course. Threatening opposition leaders, activists and journalists who criticize the government is a hallmark of authoritarian rule, not a democracy. Furthermore, the report highlights Pakistan's blasphemy law provisions have provided a pretext for violence against religious minorities and have left them vulnerable to arbitrary arrest and prosecution. The death penalty is mandatory for blasphemy and 40 people remained on death row as of late 2020. Meanwhile, in September 2020, nationwide protests took place to demand police reform after the Lahore police chief made a public statement suggesting that a woman who had been gang raped on a highway in Punjab was herself at fault because she should not have been travelling without her husband's permission on a motorway late at night.
Moving on. A massive protest by locals against rising flour prices in illegally occupied region of Pakistan-administered Kashmir turned violent on Wednesday. Clashes erupted as police arrested several activists and locals who had gathered to protest the huge price hike of food grains, especially wheat flour, that has instigated an already restive population fed up with the Pakistani misrule. The protesters set ablaze a police checkpost in Azad Patan area and chased away cops over the arrests. The police also reportedly resorted to firing and baton charging them. Protests have been going on across Pakistan-administered Kashmir for the last 1 month, but activists said the stooge government in the region, which works at the behest of Islamabad, has refused to reverse its decision to increase taxation on food items.
तो पुलिस ने रिट्रीट कर दिया है, शदीद लाठीचार्ज हो रहा है वहाँ पे, जितनी जगहों पे मुजाहरे हो रहे हैं वहाँ पे बहुत सख्त लाठीचार्ज हो रहा है and POJK has been turned into a police state.
In news from Afghanistan, the United States envoy in Afghanistan, Ross Wilson, while expressing Washington's stance on an interim government in war on Afghanistan, has said the US is not advocating it. Wilson said the outcomes of Afghan peace negotiations are up to the Afghans and should reflect their wishes and aspirations.
The US envoy in Kabul, Ross Wilson, taking to Twitter on Wednesday, wrote that the US is not advocating an interim government in Afghanistan. Wilson in his tweet said, "We have not advocated and the US is not advocating an interim government. The outcomes of Afghanistan peace negotiations are up to Afghans and we believe those outcomes should reflect the wishes and aspirations of the Afghan people." This comes as Afghan President Ashraf Ghani, referring to the recent rumors about the establishment of an interim government as an outcome of a peace process with the Taliban, said the Afghan people do not support the dissolution of democracy and it is his main duty as president to peacefully transfer the power to his successor according to the law. The Taliban have so far not announced the official position about the establishment of an interim government in Afghanistan. However, the group in the past has said that the talks on the future government will be among the top priorities during the talks being held in Doha since last week.
Moving on to news from Nepal. Police in Nepal cracked down and arrested dozens of demonstrators on Wednesday who were protesting against the dissolution of the lower house of the parliament. Nepal's President Bidya Devi Bhandari last month dissolved the parliament on the recommendation of Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli. The move has triggered widespread street protests since then.
Nepal police cracked down and arrested dozens of people protesting in the country's capital Kathmandu on Wednesday against the dissolution of the lower house of the parliament last month. Police cracked down on a symbolic protest by Nepal Student Union, who later had planned to shave off their heads. Police intervened in protest, arresting dozens of demonstrators after short scuffles. Nepali President Vidya Devi Bhandari in December announced the dissolution of the parliament on the recommendation of Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli. After dissolving the parliament, Oli also proposed elections on April 30 and May 10, 2021, nearly 2 years ahead of the schedule. Oli's move, which is claimed to be unconstitutional, has been challenged in the Supreme Court. Hearing on the case has already started, with next hearing scheduled for Friday.
People across India took holy dips in revered rivers and prayed to the sun god for the well-being of their families on the occasion of midwinter harvest festival Makar Sankranti on Thursday. Colourful kites also dotted the skyline as kite flying forms part of the festivities of Makar Sankranti, which is celebrated in myriad cultural forms in almost all parts of the country.
Devout Hindus across India congregated at the banks of revered rivers to take holy dips and pray to the sun god for the well-being of their families on the occasion of midwinter harvest festival Makar Sankranti on Thursday. Makar Sankranti or Uttarayan, that marks the journey of the sun towards northern hemisphere, corresponding with the beginning of longer days of sunlight, is one of the most auspicious days for Hindus and is celebrated in almost all parts of India in myriad cultural forms with great devotion, fervor and gaiety.
मकर संक्रांति है, इसमें नहाते हैं सभी लोग, बोलते हैं पुराने बुजुर्ग, बहुत पुण्य होता है नहाने से और शुद्ध होता है.
As per Hindu astrology, transition of the sun from Sagittarius to Capricorn zodiac during the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere is known as Makar Sankranti. It is believed that a holy dip on the occasion washes away all sins. Devotees also do Tuladan, a tradition where the devotees make offerings of cereal to the priests and poor people.
मकर संक्रांत के दिन गंगा स्नान, गंगा पूजन, तिल दान, तिल से हवन होता है. लोग वस्त्र दान करते हैं, अन्न दान करते हैं, चूड़ा दान करते हैं और दान कर अपने सुख शांति के लिए हवन पूजा सामग्री करते हैं. और
Kite flying also forms part of the festivities of Makar Sankranti, which marks the beginning of the harvesting season. Colorful kites of different shapes and sizes dot the skyline as kite flying festivals are organized on the occasion.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude the top stories once again. India continues to report sustained decline in daily new COVID-19 cases. Pakistan failed to stem violence against women and minorities in 2020, reveals report. And US envoy says Washington not advocating interim government in Afghanistan. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.